Okay, yeah, no problem. So I know I saw Bella trying to add, but I don't know what happened. So hey, I can't see what's happening right now. But hi. Oh yeah, there we go. Got some more people getting in. One second. Diana. Hi Diana and hi Anthony. How are you guys? Feel free to use the chat if you don't want to. Wait, I don't know if you guys can unmute yourselves. One second. There we go. So you can unmute yourself if you want. Hi Ricardo, welcome. All right, so since it's one, I don't want to go ahead and waste everyone's time. Let's go ahead and get started. This is recorded, so again, for those who aren't present, can just watch the recording. So May 8th, we're going to start with a quick check-in question with how you're feeling today. And you could just go ahead and use the chat or verbally. You could just say a number. How are you feeling today? Hi, Bella, welcome. We're right now doing a check-in question to just choose a number with how you're feeling today. All right, so 2 from Ricardo and 2 from Diana. Yeah, like tired with some coffee. I'm like a mix of 2 and 5 because I'm 2 because I'm tired, but at the same time, I'm looking forward to the weekend. It's Friday and just relaxing with family. And then Bella, you're a 1 and a 3. Okay, so at least that's happy a bit with them glasses. The number 3 is like, what? Cool. All right, let's just have a few more seconds on this one if you haven't. All right. Great. So welcome, guys. So I'm so happy that y'all are here. Let me jump into the juicy stuff. So announcements and remaining learning, everybody. So here we go. So we have the month of May right now up, and I'm going to first like just start projecting like what are the major deadlines that's happening right now. First off, May 15th is going to be a huge date because on this day, let me click. On this day, what we have is the draft slides are going to be doing advisory. So I'll be putting an assignment and advisory for draft slides. I'm going to go over what the draft slides are and what should they look like in a second. Something called the senior exit survey is also going to be due on May 15th. And that's also the last day to purchase yearbooks. So for May 15th, that's what's happening. Another important date that y'all should know is that May 22nd is the last day of instruction. That means on this day is when all the Zoom learning and stuff is going to end. And what's going to happen in this last week of May right here is when you all will have time to start perfecting and practicing your slides presentation. So that's what's going on in May. And on the 29th is when your final like slides are actually due. That means fully complete, they're proficient slides, and all of that. So that's the overall general view of what's happening. Do let me know in the comments if you have any questions on any of these deadlines. And then I'll jump into the specifics of this. Okay. Okay, so what is the senior exit survey that Carla wants? It's due May 15th, but she already posted it, so you could definitely already do it. So this is actually required. They won't let you go or they won't let you leave. They'll start bothering you if you don't complete this. So think of this as like an exit ticket from Miss Carla. She needs to know what college you're attending in the fall, so she could first off send transcripts. Another reason why she needs it is because your contact info. So Envision offers scholarships for alumni every year. If they have your actual professional email, they could send it to you. Because if y'all remember, when you all graduate, you lose your access to your Envision Academy email. So we have no way of contacting you. So you want to make sure that you give us your contact info, like your professional email and how to reach you. And again, right now it's posted in Carla's College Advising Google Classroom. So that's just that piece of info. The next thing is next week, we're going to start to send some call flyers because so first off, we know that COVID-19 has affected many families in unexpected ways. So again, our community is no different. If your family is experiencing hardships due to the pandemic, one second, this is going to be for you. So Miss Rayvon, Miss Walker, Miss Espinoza, Mr. Guadalupe, Miss Lauren, and Miss Elliott have set up like a fund collecting donations to help Envision families. So right now, a lot of families have contributed, teachers, your teachers has contributed to a huge amount. Like we're trying to have like a huge amount of funds to help support Envision families that are like struggling because of the COVID-19. More information though is gonna be coming out in next week, Monday, and including information for how to ask for relief if your family is affected from this. I will be putting that up in advisory as well. There's also going to be some information from the principal and even calls to home. So that's just some thing that's going to be coming up. Again, let me know in the chat if you guys have any questions on that. And yeah. All right, so yearbook. So Garcia wanted me to let y'all know that today is the last day to submit your senior portrait. If you need to follow up with the photographer, please do so, but they only so far have Hadil, Victoria, Leisha, Anthony Dixon, Taja, Nayeli, Kim, Wendy, Veronica, Anaya, and Alexa. So those are the only senior portraits that they have, is what they said, is what Garcia is saying. And he says, if you haven't yet emailed to him your senior portrait, you should do that. And then as again, that reminder that May 15th deadline is the last day to purchase a yearbook. So you want to, again, go to tring.com. You could search Envision, or you could use our school code. These slides are going to be uploaded in advisory right now. So you could just open these up and go here if you're trying to buy a yearbook. Okay, cool. Last thing, yearbook announcement, some further things is that, hey, Tony, welcome. The last thing is that Garcia wants to see what you're up because they're trying to put in the yearbook a page, which is like COVID-19 section. That means, like, oh yeah, hey.
Am I late?
Just a bit, not much. I'm gonna re-go over the major announcements, so don't worry about it. Thank you for coming. I'm so happy you're here. So the yearbook is meant to be a time capsule, and you know this is a major part of it. So send Mr. Garcia any pictures that you want. If you want to be included into the COVID-19 section, it could be art, hobbies, work, anything you want. You could go ahead and send to Mr. Garcia. I recommend sending that as soon as possible. All right, everybody, let's jump into the presentation of learning work. So remember that presentation of learning is replacing what we call a CSP. Okay, so this is what you'll have as guidelines. So if I click on here, it's going to take you to the presentation of learning guiding questions. So back when we were in school, right, you had this kind of guideline for CSP, but because we're now in this like distance learning, we changed it, right? So as you notice, you have like an introduction, you have identity statement part 1, which is about 3 minutes. You have identity statement part 2, 3 minutes, and then let me go down on this. Then you have either the proficient artifact, or remember we also said during this time you can also present an artifact that is not proficient. If you really loved an artifact and you want to choose it, you can do that. That would be this option B here. And then if you keep scrolling, at near the end of your presentation, you talk about your leadership skills, growth areas, and then you end off with identity statement part 3, which is who I want to be in the future. And then after that, question and answers, closing, props, thank yous, and all of that. So that is how your slides should look like. And these are going to be posted again on Google Classroom, but I could go ahead and just paste that into the chat. So if you want to look at that already, you can take a look at that. So again, those are the guidelines for what should be in your slides. And what we have for you also is the slides template. So these templates were meant to look boring. It says they look boring. Yours should look great. They look like this. They just have the titles of what should go on every slide. But it's up to you to make it, you know, how you want to make it. It has the who you were, who I am, and all of that stuff. So remember, a lot of you were asking for those templates. So here's your template. So you do get the template for this year. I'm gonna also go ahead and paste that into the chat as well. But again, this is all gonna be on Google Classroom, but if whoever wants to get started on it, please do. Okay, cool. Let me move on from that. And again, feel free to ask questions into the chat, or if you wanna unmute yourself, you can. Some of you did the survey that I posted on Google Classroom last week. I was reaching out to those who I'm still missing responses from, but I did ask, like, what artifact are you planning to present in the presentation of learning? And these are the types y'all were saying. So some were saying Miss Lister, some were saying the math one, maybe the Spanish, one of Ray-Bon's. Whatever you decide to do, right, just make sure that you are reaching out to that teacher and sharing your slides with them so that they can give you feedback is what I recommend. And again, if you didn't do the survey, you want to please do it so that I know whose artifact are you doing, so that I could just, like, you know, make sure and check in with that teacher on that. Okay, so this question, teensy bit concerning, 93% got it correct. But I think about two of the 13 responses said that you do not need to present the presentation of learning to receive your diploma. So you actually do have to present it. The only thing that's different this year is you don't have to pass it. What that means is you still have to do a presentation and show the effort on it. So this would be all true. You do need to present the presentation of learning to receive your diploma, but you don't have to pass it. So that's just some feedback from that. And again, if you go on my advisory Google Classroom, I have attached the, like 2 weeks ago, April 24th, advisory meeting where I go more into detail about the changes. But overall, these are the changes that I've been going over right now. Okay, so as a reminder of the deadline, so draft slides are due May 22nd for my advisory. Final slides are due a week before your defense date. I'm gonna show you the calendar again. You should be practicing with either me, your advisor, or your content teacher. Like if you're doing Miss Ray-Bon's, you could practice with Ray-Bon. Whatever artifact, make sure you practice between May 26th and May 29th. Defenses are actually now going to be held June 1st to the 5th. And then we could start scheduling people in. We have about 5 of you in the chat. And for those who just came in, this is the overview of deadlines that's happening. May 15 is huge. We have draft slides that are due. Senior exit ticket survey is also due, and the last day to purchase yearbooks. Last day of instruction is May 22nd. On the last week of May, you're going to start practicing your slides, and your final slides are due on May 29th. So that's just an overview. So let me just show you what the scheduling looks like. So like each teacher has their own tab. It looks like the SL, like, you know, student like conferences. Some people have already scheduled themselves in, like this is Garcia's class. And it starts from June 1st all the way to June 5th. So for those who are ready to go ahead and name a time, oops, and a day, can go ahead and put it into the chat, or you could unmute yourself. So we can just start scheduling everybody. Oh, by the way, other attendee means you can invite like a peer as well to be part of your panel. It's just going to be me and that peer who are going to watch your presentation. So let's take a look at that. And if each of you can please put into the chat, like if you want to schedule with me later, we could do that later. Or if you want to go ahead and put it into the chat so no one takes your time. Okay, Bella says June 1st at 12. All right. At 12, 12:30, okay. Thank you so much. And let me know, I mean, if you want to have another attendee or if you just want me, that's fine. Perfect, we got you scheduled. Anyone else? And if you want to do it later, can you tell me later? Okay, Diana says Thursday, June 4th at 2. At 2. All right, and then Ricardo, you're going to schedule later. Okay. Can you put Viviana or Nayeli as my attendee? Either one. I could put that right here. So Tony, you said June 5 at 3:30. Oh, where is it? Right here. All right, perfect. All right, and again, do just email me or let me know later if you want to schedule later. So thank you for this already scheduled. And if you like change your mind, just let me know because there's still like two or so weeks for this. Great, let's go back to, Anthony says Friday, the 5, I can do it at 2. So this day. Cool. And then let me know, Anthony, if you want another attendee. If not, that's fine. And you could always let me know later. All right. So then that's most of the like nitty gritty of what's happening now. And again, y'all, we have like about 1, 2. We already finished this week, right? What day is it? You know, this quarantine, I'm like, what day are we now? Okay, we have about 1. So 2 weeks left of instruction. That means 2 weeks left of the Zoom teaching and stuff like that. And two weeks of those content assignment stuff. After that, it's going to be you starting to practice for your presentation. Okay, I think that's pretty much it as far as the important announcements. Just as a reminder, it looks like Garcia is going to be doing some cooking stuff happening. So I think I sent you guys an email with that information that Isis sent last week or sometime earlier this week, but it starts from 3 to 4. The Zoom opens at 2:30 is what they said. So yeah, he's going to be making cookies. If you guys are at home and you have these ingredients, feel free to join him, I guess. I'll probably just pop by to see what's going on. I don't know. I don't think I'll stay for the full time, but yeah. Cool. So let me know if anyone has any questions in the chat. If you don't, then we're pretty much set. I don't know if anyone has their video on. I can't see anybody, but yeah. All right, everybody. So I hope you all have a happy Friday. And again, keep in contact. I hope you all stay safe and all that jazz. Have a happy Friday. Bye. Bye, Dana.
Bye, Miss Adano.
Bye, Bella. Take care, Tony.